Hey everybody, I love Tableau, so did Veezoo steal my heart? Let's take a look. By the way, the background music, that's the possible #1 hit single I made using Billboard Hot 100 data with Veezoo. Maybe the less said about the music, the better. Let's take a look at the analytics. I'm going to assess Veezoo using the 4 types of analytical prompts set out in Anna Christen's incredible paper, Data has entered the chat. I talked about that in a previous video, but that's how we're going to look at a review of what we did with Veezoo. Let's go. First up, analytical tasks. I have a data set. I ask my initial question. Some of the suggested questions we can ask, which artists had the most #1 hits? Pop fans, do you know which artist has had the most #1 hits? I actually don't. Is it the Beatles? Michael Jackson? It's the Beatles. Had 20 #1s. Wow, that's pretty cool. Mariah Carey, Madonna. So there you go. We've got an answer. Nice. But frankly, if your AI analytics tool can't do that, then you're not really worth your salt in the industry. The challenge I find is a lot of tools, they get that bit right and then they fall apart on any subsequent analysis. Veezoo doesn't. How about the next bit? Editing operations. We ask an initial question, but then we want more. We go down the deep thread of visual analytics. Well, first, let's look at what happened when JP and I started exploring the World Cup dataset. We asked this open-ended analytical question.
So we can tell also Veezoo to just explore this data in depth. Look for interesting insights about referees and cards.
That gave us loads of real insight about referees, which was great. That's the analytics. But then we wanted to go a bit further. So JP asked this.
Yeah, let's focus on country analysis for the referees. See if we find something interesting there, right?
This is fascinating because here we're working in collaboration with Veezoo for these editing tasks. We could ask a very specific add another thing, or we could do what we did here and ask relatively open-ended questions. That's your choice when working with Veezoo. Down that path, we made some great discoveries of even who is the most prolific red card and yellow card showing referee and which country do they come from. One other thing we discovered in the analysis of the World Cup dataset is we asked how many hat-tricks are there? Great analytical question. Hat-tricks doesn't exist in the underlying dataset. That is often the problem you have in this cycle of visual analysis. So what do? You have to add it to the data model. And Veezoo did that for us with its incredible semantic layer capabilities.
So what Veezoo is doing, we're calling it agentic modeling, right? And it's the idea of helping you model your semantic layer very fast. It's looking at the files that we have. All the semantic layer is represented as version-controlled files. And it came up here with a suggestion using our query language on how to define it. We're here in a branch mode, so everything that we're doing is not affecting any live users. And I've given it the possibility to just go ahead and change whatever it wants in this safe environment. So it defined here the number of hat tricks as we were using before. It's taking a look at the pairs and matches, it's counting them.
This semantic stuff is one of my favorite things about Veezoo. And believe me, this is coming from somebody who finds semantic layers so boring. It's tedious, boring work. It's really necessary, but at least Veezoo makes it really powerful. So the final part of the analytical conversation is directives. And that includes, giving very specific instructions to do something, including maybe formatting visuals. But also I think it applies to creating repeatable agents. All this analytics in Veezoo is all very good, or in any analytics tool driven by AI, but you don't want a Groundhog Day situation where you have to type that same thing every day. We explored in our World Cup dataset live stream. We created an agent that takes the data and finds somebody whose birthday it is that day and creates a story about them for that player for that given day. I mean, that'd be brilliant if you're a content creator for the World Cup that's coming up this year in 2026. This is really powerful because you're giving these agents, which are essentially long prompts, but they can be scheduled, they can be run conditionally. And I think that's kind of the final key to the success of Veezoo, is you've got the conversational analytics, you've got the direct ability to touch and interact with the chart, you've got easy semantic definitions for the people who are managing the data. But you can also make it repeatable and as a result get an output that is a fantastic hybrid of charts and analytics. And all of that can be trusted by looking at the SQL underneath it. You've got full version control and all of that. So friends, did Veezoo steal my Tableau loving heart? Well, yes, no. Come on, you knew this was going to end in it depends, right? Here's the thing. I built this chart in Tableau this week. It was to do with the ice numbers of ice agents in Minnesota. And in order to create something like that, I need really fine-grained control. It's like using a pencil. I want to be able to really get into fine level of detail and control every single pixel. Can't do that in Veezoo. Maybe I might be able to in the future, but I can't right now. But the thing is, that's not what Veezoo is trying to do. Veezoo is trying to take this, the modern application of the disruptive LLM-based AI analytics and create this hybrid, super powerful, flexible interface that allows you to explore data as an analyst or as a business user and get trusted results that are a hybrid of charts and text. I genuinely find it really powerful. You know, the work JP and I did on the World Cup data set was incredible. Rerunning these agents and getting that chart and text mix, I think it's really useful. I even said in one of the videos, do we need super fancy charts? Do we need dashboards? I mean, that's heresy coming from somebody like me. But I think with Veezoo, we are seeing what the next generation of analytics could look like embedded with LLM. You're not going to take my Tableau away from me, but I'm really keen to carry on using Tableau. Really keen to carry on using Veezoo. Of course, this has been a brand partnership. As a disclaimer, Veezoo didn't tell me to say any of this. I am telling you my genuine opinions, but if you're going to be making buying decisions, go check these things out yourself. Veezoo does do a free trial. If you go down the path, I'd love to know your thoughts, and if I've helped you along the way, that would be cool too. All right, so thank you, Veezoo. Thank you, everybody, for watching. See you next time.